Good evening. Good evening. Welcome into our 26th episode of some Clemson or some Tiger Talk with some Clemson gentlemen. This is the second week in a row I have really butchered that up, and I say it every day, so it's not like I shouldn't know it. Um, but welcome in, y'all. It's Jeff and myself, Freddie, coming to you live. If you got any questions, shoot them out to us. Um, Before we get started, shoot it out there like we normally do. Jeff, how's your week been?
Man, it was a good week. Had a good week overall. Um, Short of what was it, Wednesday night and first part of Saturday afternoon. I think everything else was pretty doggone good, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to agree. Same here. Got off to a great start. Had a another good week at work and um, private life as well. So
Yes.
can't other than of course, what we're about to talk about. Um, you know, we start out talking about the team that everybody thought might be one of the best teams Brad Brownell's had, and I'm not saying it's not okay, but it didn't take long for people to jump off that bandwagon with this losing streak, and so you know um, you know what can you say, Jeff? I mean, anything stick out at you with this losing streak?
I, Freddie, I honestly, I don't have a whole lot of answers. Um, the one thing I think back to the Saturday night that we played Cal. And I remember watching that game, and gosh, our guys they were so suffocating on defense. Cal got absolutely nothing easy. I remember the kid early on when Cal was in the game. He hit a couple of difficult shots. Everything that they did was difficult. Now we go to Virginia Tech coming off of that, and then Duke, and of course the last two games this week. Lord, I saw a lot of layups.
Hmm.
Saw a lot of folks uh, make some layups, and that was not what this team was about a couple weeks ago.
Well, and that was one of the things that was pointed out over and over again. I think it was the Virginia Tech game for one,
Mm-hmm.
where they were talking about that this team can't give up 80 points and expect to win. And we've done that at what twice this week. I know. Well, I know we gave up 70 something to was it 70 something to Duke and 80 to Virginia Tech. Um, and then again yesterday, now the one yesterday, that one baffles me because, we just, for some reason, we couldn't buy a bucket at times yesterday.
Yeah.
And, whenever you're shooting 30 something percent and the team you're playing is shooting 50%, there's no way you can win those games, man. That's just not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
Um, I just don't. I'm like you. I'm kind of baffled because the shooting. I mean, I get that part. Um, we have spells where we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Um, I'll go back to Coach Buckner's comments about that happens to everybody. I just see it more with us, and I watch more than just Clemson basketball. Not a lot of it, but I do watch some of it, and
Yeah.
it just, like I said, seems like it happens to us more often. But the defensive side, man, that's the side that has really kind of bothered me. It's kind of like we forgot how to play defense at times in the last four games.
And it's one of those I kind of at a certain point with about 5 minutes to go in a game, I try to think about how many points are we going to have to score to win. And the last four games, that number has certainly gone up, and it's made it difficult for our guys because they have not locked people down on defense.
Mhm.
Now, needless to say, I do think that there have been some kids who have kind of gone off against us.
Yeah, yeah,
The kid yesterday from Florida State that I mean, what he scored 29 points. He made some tough shots. He made
yeah.
some, and that was the difference in the game. Him making the tough shots and then we look like we're lost at certain segments in that game. I think if we had a Chase Hunter yesterday,
Mhm.
somebody that we could give the ball to in those last what Florida State went on a 7-0 run to end the game. If we could give the ball to Chase a time or two and
Mhm.
let him go make something out of it. Uh, I thought Ace Buckner early on yesterday he was going to be the guy. He was going to be the go-to guy, but he kind of cooled off in the second half. Um, right now, we just don't have that one guy that can go get us a bucket when we need it at a
Yep.
critical time, and that you add that to struggling a little bit playing defense. It's a bad recipe for this team.
I still believe that Ace at some point in time will become that person.
I do too.
I think it's still youth, and
Mhm.
it's funny you said that about a guy going off against us because a buddy of mine, Chad, he and I, we seem to have this conversation every basketball game. We always have one guy that out of nowhere goes off against us. All right, was it there was a
But
who was it this past week that had not hit a three? He was like 0 for
oh
19,
yeah,
and he gets a three in the second half to put them back up by, I think it was Florida State. No, was it Florida?
yeah.
No.
It's like in football. Everybody we play, their punter becomes Ray Guy overnight. Now
Yeah, yeah,
70-yard punts on
yeah.
us. Uh,
I mean, it's just like, I mean, it's just unbelievable sometimes. Um, hey, on a better note though, let's talk about Poppy, man. Poppy's got his girls rolling, man. Um, Big time win today over number 9 Duke. I mean, and they didn't quit. I don't know if you saw the last round. I was watching the basketball game. I mean the baseball game,
huh.
and was listening to the basketball game. And with I think it was 9 seconds to go or something like that,
Yeah.
Duke hits a three to take a 1 point lead, and we come back down the court and hit a straightaway three to take it right back from 'em. I mean, you know, girls got ice in her veins, though. That's all I
Yeah.
can say. Um,
Yeah.
but he's got them believing, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of times that in itself, um, is lost in a lot of things. We always think that, oh yeah, the greatest. Sometimes you need a little bit of belief. I mean,
Mhm.
you might not have the greatest team out there. You might not have, the star. You might not have a Michael Jordan. Okay, but belief can carry you a long ways when you think that you've got a team that can do it. So
Well, I think we said this maybe a couple weeks ago, but it bears rehashing again. I think um, we talked about Poppy and his ability to recruit,
oh
um,
yeah.
bringing in the young lady that's a McDonald's All American, and you know, building up the talent level of the team. You can sell hope to recruits for a while, but at some point you gotta put some results out there. And he's been able to take a team that is maybe not as talented as they will be in a couple years as he continues to recruit, um, produce some results, and then we're selling a little bit more than just hope. We're selling some results, and you know how recruiting is. Those are
Oh
things
yeah.
that have a tendency to snowball and build on themselves. So I think what he looking pretty good for an NCAA tournament berth for this group.
Hmm.
Um, I mean that's a quite a turnaround in a 2 year time frame, which you kind
Um,
of saw some flashes of it last year. Just if you
yeah.
they build off of that, continuing to improve, and as the talent level increases, you look for more and more results.
Oh yeah. First top 10 win in women's basketball since 2022. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know, right now they seem to be trending up, while Coach Brownell and those are trending down a little.
Yeah.
So, I saw where they have been taking off of the lock status for a lock to make the tournament.
Yeah.
So imagine, I mean, imagine that, you know. Um, hey, I'm happy. Look, for anybody that knows me, knows same as you. Um, I love football. Football's always going to be the one I love the most.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also love basketball. I would say, and I think Craig and I talked about this in the beginning. I don't think you and I've had this conversation, but I'll tell you, mine is football, baseball, basketball, soccer in that order. And I'll be
Uh-huh.
honest with you, basketball and baseball are pretty close in that respect. I don't know how your tier would fall. I guess is the way I would put it.
Oh,
So
I'm definitely football at the top. Now, to me, um, one of the funnest and most enjoyable times are those 3 weeks in March when you start with the ACC tournament and go through the NCAA tournament when your team is involved. That
oh yeah,
elite that
oh yeah,
elite eight run a couple years ago, those two
mhm,
weekends were just as enjoyable to me.
yep,
Short of, I mean, of course, we wanted to win and go to the Final Four,
oh yeah,
but that was fun to me, seeing those
mhm,
guys go out, play well, win basketball games, and you just keeping up with everything else that's going on. It's more enjoyable when you've got a little bit of skin in the game. You got a team
yeah,
that's in
oh
there,
yeah,
and I look forward. Honestly, when we were sitting at 10-1, I was looking forward. Can we get a 5 seed or a 4 seed? Look at some matchups. Now, I mean, we're trending squarely towards the bubble, if not
I know,
already there.
yeah. And I'm the same way. And don't get me wrong. When I put soccer fourth, um, I can watch Clemson soccer every match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, if the Paul is not playing soccer, okay, Freddie's not watching soccer. All right, you will not catch Freddie watching the World Cup. Okay,
Yeah.
just like you will not. I love playing golf. Not any good at it, like I've said before, but you will not catch Freddie on a Saturday or Sunday watching a golf match. Just not happening. Um, no. So, but I do enjoy when I say this stuff. I'm saying Clemson sports is what I'm talking about. I want to make
Oh
sure
yeah.
that's clear. I don't. I'll be getting a text sometime this week. Oh, so you're a soccer fan now? No, I'm not. Not at all. But you know, all right. So we go from that to um, I don't know who's hotter right now: women's basketball, the baseball team, or the softball team. Just
Yeah.
being straight up honest. Um, the softball team secured their sixth straight win today. They swept Baylor, or swept out in Baylor, have looked really good doing it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like when they play again, Jeff, I'm telling you, as long as we don't have to play an SEC team, we seem to be in pretty good shape, man. And that's not good. You just don't like that as a Tiger fan.
Brady, we
But
got to turn that around because
I
I looked at the
know,
schedule earlier. They go to Georgia this week.
I know.
Big game. They got to turn that around.
And who better to do it against? Okay, you
Yeah.
know, um, uh, I can't stand Georgia. I probably dislike Georgia just about as much as I do South Carolina. Um, outside of Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, I would have to agree with my granddaddy. Nothing good's ever come out of Georgia. Um, you know, I catch it all the time because I got a bunch of friends that are Atlanta Braves fans, and I've told you before that I was a Dale Murphy fan growing up,
Oh yeah.
but I cannot pull for the Braves. Just can't do it. So, um, but baseball, um, they found their first adversity really today.
Yeah.
Felt like they kept taking punches from Bryant, and you know, I'm glad because it gave us a chance to see, what they would do when this happened, and felt like that, every time they took a punch from Bryant, they punched right back, and that's what you want to see early in the season, especially.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Looks like that group's got some good chemistry. Just looking at the way they play, um, the way the adversity that they dealt with, they were able to push through. There's the foundations of some good team chemistry there. You got a lot of guys, and I know they said early on in the season that Bakich would be doing a lot of mixing and matching and changing the lineup here and there, trying to figure out what the best fit is. And it seems like those guys, when they get in and they get their shot, they're taking it. They're doing what they can to get in the lineup, but
Mhm.
at the same time, it seems like they are playing together
Yep.
and playing very well right now.
Yeah, I do hope that, or I want to see us cut down on some of the errors. And I mean, I believe that'll happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With all the new guys you got right now, kind of like you were saying a minute ago, they're playing well together. But, you know, I guess that's the thing. We haven't even seen them get to even close to a perfect game yet.
Yeah.
So, um, still a lot to be happy about there. Like just like softball. I mean, um, everybody wondered how he was going to do, how Rickman was going to do with you know the girls he was bringing in and stuff. And overall, I would say so far he's done really good with that group. Um, I was very impressed Friday night. I think it was either Friday night or either last night or yesterday. Um,
Mhm.
I don't want to get it mixed up. Um, we do the in between the innings in the fourth quarter or fourth quarter, in between the bottom and in between the top and the bottom of the fourth inning.
Right.
We do the salute to veterans and stuff like that, and Bakich was out there shaking hands with veterans, and you haven't really seen him do that,
Mhm.
to this point. It's usually been the players, but it was good to see him interacting with the fans and that kind of stuff, with that going on. So, you know, hey, I, that's one of my favorite parts of baseball games now,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's saying a lot, because I love going to a Clemson baseball game. Look forward to every chance I get to go. Outside of football, that's what I look forward to the most. So,
Definitely.
but
Yeah, it's the we said it. I think it was last week or the weekend before. I don't think anybody does military appreciation in general better than Clemson does, from
no,
the football games to all of the other activities going on, and then this new tradition in baseball with the shaking of veterans' hands. You can't top it. But I want to go back to Bakich.
uh-huh,
Um, he he's a good in-game coach. He is a good teacher of fundamentals. I think everybody that talks about him at that level, they're impressed with that. But he is also a good promoter of the program.
yep,
Um, I think it was yesterday they were talking about the in-game interview that he does, and he likes to pass it off.
yeah,
And I'd never thought about it, but the guys on the broadcast brought up that is a way that he can support his players, uh,
yep.
passing that off and giving them a chance to talk. I think it was was it Dion Brown
It
yesterday?
was Deion Brown. Yep,
And
yep.
those guys, they do an excellent job preparing those guys to take
Mhm.
advantage of those opportunities.
Oh yeah,
Somebody in the program is doing well because he came on there. He was respectful, well spoken. Kid did an
absolutely.
outstanding job
Mhm.
handling the moment, and um, it just puts a face with a kid that's going to go out on the mound and throw
Oh yeah.
throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It gives us a little glimpse into who he is as fans. So
And he
those
had a
are
really good
good moments.
he had a really good outing today too. It was two
Mhm.
innings that he pitched, and so he can do more than dance. So
Yeah.
good to
But
see.
yeah, and like we said, you gotta back that stuff up with some play on the field. You can be the best stalker in the world, but if you're a
Yep.
baseball player, if you don't go out on the field and produce, I mean, it eventually gets to you. But
Well, and to this point, the reason I said what I said is because to this point, all you've heard is, well, he can dance when you're playing the bananas, but I haven't really seen him do anything on the mound. Well, he showed on the mound today that he can pitch. So,
brother, you're bringing at 95, you got a chance to
oh yeah,
to to be
oh
able to
yeah,
do something. But that's the other thing with Backage, the bananas. I mean, those
oh
those are
yeah.
things that tie him to the community. And I don't remember any other college baseball teams really diving into that before Backage took a chance a couple years ago with it, and it's worked out great.
And now everybody's wanting it. Everybody's wanting
Yeah,
to do it. He started something.
yeah,
So I just I feel very strongly that he has done a great job of surrounding himself with great coaches.
yeah.
Okay. Um, and I'll be the first to tell you, I was a little concerned when I found out that Jack Leggett was going to be back in the dugout. Um, just because I had seen, I don't want to say, I don't want to sound like Jack Leggett didn't do it. Jack Leggett did a great job at Clemson for, to get us to where we were at. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, but Jack Leggett also was bullheaded, and you just were concerned a little bit about how much of his bullheadedness would cause. You know what I'm saying? Was Backett going to be able to stand his ground if the day came? And it feels like he has.
Yeah,
Okay, and I'm thankful for that, because it gives you a chance to get great knowledge from a person at the same time. You know who the head, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about him not being able to do his job as head coach. So, that's just me. That was the way I felt about it at the time. Um, I strongly feel like that Bakich is the one that will lead us to our first national championship in baseball. Um, it, kind of like you said a few minutes ago, he's a great promoter, but at the same time, he puts his players in positions to, you know, be able to do the things that they need to do,
yeah,
and that's the thing that makes me feel very strongly that we haven't seen, or as Dabo likes to say, you know, greatness is still to be seen.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. The best is yet
the
to come
best
with
is yet
Backage,
to
I think.
come. There
Yeah.
you go. So hey, um, we have a huge matchup this coming week. Um, and I'm not talking about the midweek game, of course. I'm talking about next weekend is the
Yeah,
South Carolina series. South Carolina lost to Army Friday night 8-1, I think it was,
yeah,
and Army did not pitch their ace. So on Friday night, which was a little bit shocking to me. But for them to be able to handle them the way they did after we played them the way we did, would lead most to believe that, oh, we should be able to, beat the crap out of Carolina. No, I don't go into it looking at it that way, and I'm sure you don't either, because you and I both have seen enough of South Carolina and Clemson sports to realize that you don't count anything before it's done. So
no, they say in baseball, your momentum is the next day's starting pitcher.
yeah,
All it takes is one or two of their guys to roll out there, and like we've seen sometimes in basketball and football, with punters going off, one or two of those guys roll out there, and they turn around, and we're behind 4-2 in the eighth, and you got some problems on your hands.
It's
So
always amazed me how oddly a little round ball can bounce the wrong way sometimes. You
oh yeah,
know, um, but that's why they play the games, and that's why we don't worry about what the paperwork says. So
yeah,
um, after that, all right, McGovern. I know we talked about it off air earlier.
yeah,
McGovern, we found out today, is going to be out the rest of the season. That's one, experienced pitcher that you won't be able to depend on. Um, with that being said, though, I'll be the first to tell you this pitching staff has been lights out.
yeah,
Um, up until today. And I don't want to say it like we had a bunch of errors today too, or we had some errors today too that didn't help our pitching out. A couple plays there where we should have been out of the inning,
yeah.
and because something didn't go, kind of like we said a minute ago, you know. Um, but overall, would you say, looking at it to this point, 2 weeks in, or is the pitching staff where you thought we would be, better than you thought we'd be, or where would you put it at right now?
Freddie, without knowing, and you really don't know what Army and Bryant are going to be until we get
Yeah,
into the season, 30 games or so. But just looking at what I've seen, um, my humble opinion, I think we're a little bit better than what I thought. I knew they said that we had some power arms that were coming onto the team and onto the pitching staff. But I've been impressed with the way they've been able to roll those guys in, and those guys. Uh, Other than today, I think what they hit 6 or 7 batters.
yeah,
I think this is the first time that they've struggled to command the strike zone.
hmm,
Even when Bryant scored a few runs over the games, they were scrapping to put runs together. It wasn't like they were stringing 3 and 4 hits together, 3 and 4 sharply hit balls. It was a bloop, a steal. Now, some of those things,
yeah,
if they continue to be patterns, can be concerning. But typically with backage teams, they're very sound defensively. So odds are they going that's going to kind of regress back to where it normally would be. You hit stretches, no matter how good you are, you're going to hit a stretch. Jaron Purify heard today that he's already made 3 errors on the season.
yeah,
He's not he's probably going to hit a stretch where he just plays sound defense for a long period of time. It may be many games before he makes another error because he's
mhm,
just that solid. He's got a track record of 2 years of being that solid. So
yeah.
my expectation is that those things will clean up and get a little bit better.
I feel the same way. I am also happy with the way that we're hitting the ball too to this point. You know, you got multiple players with home runs that,
Yeah,
well, like Jacob Gerald, man, I am beyond the moon happy with the start he's had to the season.
yeah,
Um, you know, and that's something that we lacked last year. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to or not by any means trying to say that I hope we have a slugfest, baseball team, because I don't see us doing that. We're going to have to play sound defense, pitch well, and get enough hits as we get into the ACC season and stuff going forward. And but it is good to see some of these things that weren't happening last year happen so far this year. So,
yeah.
um, but yeah, I'm in agreement with you on. I do believe we are further ahead than most people thought we would be
Hmm.
pitching wise. Um, now keep in mind, I think we would have been a lot better off last year if it hadn't been for injuries. So we'll see as the season goes on because, like you were saying a minute ago, we won't really know until we get 30 games in. The thing is, baseball is a long season.
Oh yeah.
and it can get taxing on pitchers. So
Well,
um,
that's the thing with McGovern. That's another arm, uh,
yeah,
an experienced arm in the bullpen that could eat up some innings and produce some quality results that we'll be losing now. Um, I think we're in a better position to handle that this year than
yeah,
last year. Losing those few guys at the beginning of the year last year with the injuries. Um, they really took their toll as we moved on through the season. But you can never have too many good arms on the pitching staff and a
I
bullpen.
agree.
I mean, there isn't any doubt about it. So to sit here and say that this is not going to have any impact, it will. But I think we're in a little better spot to be able to cover it than in years past.
Um, I I was listening to the game Friday night, um, when Harrison came in, and I'm in agreement. It's going to be interesting to see how they can. 'Cause he's got too good of a bat not to be using it, man.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, I mean, he was lights out. He came in Friday, and I mean, it didn't matter the situation. I mean, like you said earlier about us being in the strike zone.
Mm-hmm.
He just went after people, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got good stuff. You can roll it up there. Now he's going to run up on some guys that are probably
Yeah,
going to be able to handle a little bit better. Has he got something else to go to when he hits that spot? Uh,
yeah,
Odds are he's probably going to be able to throw something else at him. So
I think so. I feel so. They talk like he was one of the better athletes coming in on
mhm.
this team, and so far he's lived up to the bill. Um, so
well,
uh,
well, Bakich knows that he knows how to handle two-way guys. I mean,
mhm.
um, and the name escapes me. The big left-handed kid we had a couple of years ago. I can't think of it right now to save my
Katie
life.
Rice,
Yeah, Grice.
yeah,
Yeah. I thought Bakich handled him well. Um, the couple years he had him, he got him on the mound and used him there effectively, and of course kept him in the lineup. So he'll figure out how to handle two-way kids going forward. That's
I meant to ask a couple of buddies around. I don't know whether he's played any other position. That's the interesting part. Wonder if he's played any other positions. Um, I'm sure he has. I'm just,
oh yeah.
curious as to how good he. In other words, there's,
Mhm.
there's a difference in playing a position and being able to play a position.
Yeah, I mean, you're in high school. You're the best athlete on the team. Most likely, you can play anywhere
That's
better than the other kids. But now it's a little bit different when you're playing big time college baseball. So
yeah, yeah. Big difference when you get to D1, man.
yeah,
That's a huge difference. But you know, I am looking forward to seeing what we have happen this week, especially basketball.
yeah,
I do feel like we get off the slide this week, and get back. And I guess that's one of the reasons that you know people have kind of jumped off the bandwagon a little bit
yeah,
because they've seen this out of us before. Get off to a great start and get an ACC play, and but now big difference in 10 and what 5 now,
yeah,
and getting off to a great start and then starting the ACC season off, with 4 or 5 losses, so um, I I believe we can get ourselves back on track this week. It'll be interesting to see, how well we do because now we find out how good we really are.
yeah.
So, you know,
No margin for error left, Freddie.
no,
None whatsoever.
no.
Um,
Um,
be able to out of the last four, if we split them, go 2-2, and sitting here, 12-3, then you got some margin for error.
that's right.
If we don't string some wins together here to close out the season, we're going to be what 6, 7, 8 in the in the ACC tournament, and then you really are squarely on the bubble at that point. So
Then the Brownell haters will come back out.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, the pitchforks and stakes and
yeah,
all that'll be fired back up and I I'm interested. I'll be interested to see what happens next. That's
yeah,
going to be the key there for me. Um, you know, like I said earlier, baseball and softball seem to be in a good position. Poppy's got the ladies playing in a good spot right now. Um, now with them, what you got to worry, what Poppy's got to worry about now is that that their heads are able to get through the doors,
yeah,
and you don't get caught off guard by somebody that you shouldn't lose to, and you lose to them.
yeah.
Because you and I both know after a big win like today, that could very easily happen.
Can turn
Um,
into a letdown quick, like and in a hurry. I mean,
yeah,
ain't no
and
doubt about
then just like with basketball, the next thing we're talking about next weekend we're talking about the girls on a slide or
it.
a downslide. You don't want that to
Yeah.
happen. So, but but anyway, well, it is 7:37 by my time, and um, I, I I don't have much else to talk about, Jeff. I mean, I could talk the rest of the night about all that we've been talking about.
Oh yeah.
Well, but I know nobody else is wanting to listen to us talk about this stuff over and over again. So I think we're gonna cut it for tonight. And
We can wrap it
um,
up, my friend.
yep, guys, remember you can check us out on our YouTube page. It's Tiger Talk with the Clemson Gentlemen. Same thing with the Facebook page. Had a couple more friends added to it this week. Hit us up on any of those. You can always get in touch with us, and we'd love to know what you want us to talk about. As long as it's something that we can talk about in Clemson athletics, we'll be more than happy to talk about it. If you haven't noticed yet, we like to talk. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And would love to have some more people on here, talking to us live. Shoot some stuff out at us. That's what we're here for. We're having a great time doing it. And by the way, yeah, if you've noticed, I've got a little bit of my mic is actually closer to me tonight. One of my good buddies told me that the mic I was using was not doing me justice. So hopefully that has remedied itself. So, but anyway, y'all go like our page, on YouTube, or like our channel on YouTube. Share the video. Hit us up on Facebook. Friend us. We will accept it gladly. And until next time, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.